Gentlemen, and welcome to, and this is it's on. Welcome to a public hearing. This is Tuesday, October 6th, 2020, and it's 3 o'clock. And the topic is the closure of a portion of 188th Avenue Southwest for a definite period of 10 years. And by way of introduction, I'm John Hutchings, the chair of the board. And to my right is the vice chair, Commissioner Ty Menser. To my left is Gary Edwards, Commissioner Edwards. We also have County Manager Ramiro Chavez and Amy Davis, our clerk of the board. And we have a host of characters on, county employees, not characters, on Zoom that will be providing information. We have a few people in the boardroom at 280, people downstairs in room 152 or overflow room, and they're watching us too.
That is correct.
We don't see them. Nope, we don't see them though. Okay. We're going to get through this. Everybody will have a chance to testify that wants to testify. The purpose of this public hearing is to accept and consider public comment on the proposed closure of a portion of 188th Avenue Southwest for a definite period of 10 years. This is a hybrid public hearing. Those wishing to testify have joined in person, by Zoom, email comment, or mail comment. If you wish to testify, please visit the Thurston County homepage online and select announcements of public hearings on the left-hand side. The information to join this meeting, this public hearing, remotely has been posted there. If you do not wish to testify but would like to listen and follow along, please watch the live stream through the Thurston County YouTube channel to help us manage attendance. Our staff, Matt Unzelman, will provide information on this topic. Assuming members of the public on Zoom wish to testify, I will read your names aloud. I'll read the names aloud of the people on the sign-up sheet. I'll do 3 at a time so that those in room 152 have a chance to come upstairs to testify. You have 3 minutes in which to testify. Time may not be given to another person. When you are called on, please come to the podium and state your name and address for the record. And the clerk of the board has a timer. The timer is up here, starting at 3 minutes. It's way down. You'll hear it chime when it's over, as I recall. And now the public hearing is now open. Matt Unzelman will now present background information of the proposal, written comments submitted, and any additional information requested by the board. Matt, thank you for joining us. But you're muted.
Sorry about that. Before I get too far, Commissioner Hutchings, can you understand me?
Yes.
Because I was having a tough time understanding you.
Do you have your microphone on?
It is on. Yes, it's on, and it's not on mute.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay, Matt?
I can hear you fine, County Manager.
Let's
Hey.
switch microphones.
That's why I was asking. I checked at the beginning, because it didn't sound like it was on.
In this occasion, we're wearing masks.
And I didn't touch you. And when I put this on, I didn't hear any noise. How's that, Matt?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, you're on now.
All right, my name is Matt Unzelman. I'm a Thurston County Traffic Engineer and Operations Manager, and I want to thank you for the opportunity today for your consideration of the closure of 188th between Moon Road and just east of the Lucky Eagle Casino, which is, when I say east of the Lucky Eagle Casino, I'm actually talking the closure limit would be the employee parking lot. In 2012, the Chehalis tribe completed a corridor safety study for US 12 with the Washington State Department of Transportation and with participation with Thurston County Public Works as well. The safety improvement recommendation was the installation of 2 roundabouts. The first roundabout was at the intersection of US 12 and Anderson Road, and the second was at US 12 and the Moon Road intersection. In 2017, WashDOT began to outreach the projects, and it generated a lot of community discussion and concern that westbound traffic going to the casino would bypass the roundabouts using the local county roads. So WashDOT took this into consideration. They evaluated the traffic patterns in the area, and WashDOT concluded that if the county were to permanently close a portion of 188th Avenue at the intersection of Moon Road, construction of the proposed roundabout at US 12 would not be necessary, and traffic would also be restricted from bypassing the roundabouts using county roads. In December of 2018, the Board of County Commissioners sent a letter to the Chehalis tribe supporting the permanent closure of 188th Avenue west of Moon Road. As I mentioned before, because we'd be closing this section of Moon Road, the roundabout at US 12 and Moon Road would be eliminated and save the state $1.2 million of construction costs. So the state has agreed to pay Thurston County $435,000 to fund the design and construction of the 188th Avenue closure. Staff has worked with the prosecuting attorney's office to determine the appropriate legal process to close a public road. State law states that a public road can only be closed indefinitely if it is permanently vacated. Public Works is recommending that this portion of 188th Avenue not be vacated so it can be used for emergency access. For this reason, the prosecuting attorney's office is recommending that this closure extend for a definite period of time. In this case, that period of time is 10 years. And so what that means is in 10 years, we'd have to reevaluate the closure. So staff has completed an engineer's report recommending the following: that the road be closed between Moon Road and the Lucky Eagle Casino, gates and barricades be installed at the closure limits. The appropriate signing needs to be installed in advance of the closures to notify drivers. We need that a hammerhead needs to be constructed on 188 at Moon Road to provide a turnaround for drivers who mistakenly use 188th Avenue. A knockbox will be installed to provide access to emergency services during emergency events. Electronic message boards will be placed on US 12 in advance of Moon Road prior to the closure to notify drivers. So in conclusion, closing this portion of 188th Avenue will make Anderson Road the only access to the Lucky Eagle Casino. It will significantly lessen the amount of left turning traffic from US 12 onto Moon Road, which is significant because of the numerous fatalities that have occurred at this intersection. Based upon WashDOT's evaluation of past crash history, this will reduce collisions by 70% at this intersection. So at this point, one final note is that the traffic volumes on Moon Road are expected to drop from more than 3,100 vehicles per day to less than 500 cars per day. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Becky Kahn to relay the public comments that have been received.
Thanks, Matt, and good afternoon, commissioners. I'm Becky Kahn in the traffic department. I'm a civil engineer, and I have received two comments in regards to this closure. The first one was received on September 28th from Christy Kriegsman, and I will read it now. I'm writing in opposition to the closure of 188th Avenue Southwest, Rochester, between Moon Road and the casino lot. I'm a farmer and have property on Howanut Road on a reservation and also in Grand Mound. Twice a year, we move our hay equipment between the farms. The tractors are slow and the implements are wide. When I move equipment, I have always been able to stay off of Highway 12, which is for my own safety and for the safety and convenience of the other drivers. Now that Anderson Road North is closed, my only available route to avoid Highway 12 is on 188th. There are at least 2 other farmers that I know of that move equipment to both sides of the casino. If you close 188th, I will be forced to take my slow and wide tractors onto Highway 12 and across the narrow Black River Bridge. Thank you. The second comment I received was from Heather Mitchell on today at 11 a.m. I'm writing as a concerned citizen who lives on the north side of Moon Road. I support the proposal of closing Moon Road to casino traffic. Daily, I am required to turn east on Highway 12 from North Moon Road. I dread this part of my commute. I am constantly dodging vehicles leaving Moon Road and turning onto South Moon Road. I know a majority of these vehicles are headed to the casino as there just aren't many residential folks down that way. I would be delighted to see the casino access is no longer available via Moon Road. FYI, I think a lot of local residents don't understand where the closure starts. I think they believe that you are proposing closing South Moon at Highway 12, and I know that is not true. I hope during your public comment hearing today that the county makes it very clear that their actual closure is 188th Avenue. Those are the 2 comments we have received.
And so I'd like to reemphasize that 188th Avenue is only being closed between Moon Road and the east, the employee parking lot that's located east of the casino. No portion of Moon Road will be closed.
Hang on just a second, Matt. Okay. Is that the end of the presentation then?
That's all we had. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Edwards, you have any questions?
Not at this time. I'm interested in hearing from citizens now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just the logistical aspects of this room. We have a capacity of 10 individuals in this room, and we have individuals willing to testify on 152. So for those individuals who have already testified, I will ask for them to move into 152, and you can continue to follow up the conversation. That will allow the individuals of 152 to come up and provide public testimony. Thank you.
We don't have the occupancy issue to deal with. Becky, did you say there's only 2 comments that were received on this topic?
That is correct. Via email, I received 2 comments.
Oh, hang on. And that's 1 in support and 1 opposition?
Correct.
Okay. You're going to be testifying in a minute. Okay, Eric? So again, I'll read the names 3 at a time. So people, if there's people up downstairs that have signed up, they'll have time to get up here. And after you testify, if you're up here, please go down so somebody else can come up and take your spot if there is anybody down there that wants to testify. First would be Jim Deskins, followed by Clarita Deskins, and then Dave Strickler, followed by Eric Johnson, in order to sign up. So with Jim Deskins. Oh, that's okay. They're all yeses, but I'll change it to a no. Great. Clarita, yes, ma'am. You got the floor.
I don't want to take your time because I live on 188th up from Moon Road.
Hey, just introduce for the record, introduce yourself and about where you live.
Okay.
Thank you.
Clarita Nicola Deskins. I live at 10912 188th Street, North Southwest.
You keep going.
Okay.
Fine.
And I misunderstood. I thought hopefully that you were going to close 188th in front of our place, but it's not that way. So my testimony isn't.
Okay. Still valuable.
It is? Okay.
Still valuable. Yes, I appreciate that.
All right. The speed on our road is unbelievable. There are cars, motorcycles that go by our home so fast you can't even see them. We've had animals killed. We've had the late night traffic. It's like a freeway. At 2 o'clock in the morning, it's steady. It's unbelievable. The cars that mostly go by don't have mufflers or something on them. Their radios are on the, oh, what's it called when they go boop, 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 and it rattles the windows in your house. What my concern is that we have farm equipment. We have Mennonite children that ride their bikes on that road to school. We have people that walk on the school, for exercise. And people go so fast. It's a narrow country road. It's a farming road. And we did have one man killed on a motorcycle at the end. And every day I think, who's going to be next? Because people go so fast. Our mailbox is across the street. I'm getting old, and I have to step down to my mailbox. And by the time sometimes that I have stepped up to get on the road, a car goes by so fast. And I just have a real concern about the traffic. I don't know what else to say. And there's no plans of doing anything there.
So are you in support of this closure then?
I would hope that it would save maybe some traffic on our road. So I would say I'm for it, if it would do that.
Okay,
And thank you.
thank you, ma'am. Dave Strickler and then Eric Johnson.
My name is Dave Strickler. I'm at 18130 Moon Road in Rochester. I live, as soon as you turn off of Highway 12, my house is right there. I agree with her. The racing up and down Moon Road, since the reservation police do not patrol it all the time, the racing is crazy. It's totally out of control. There's nobody out there. It's a straight road, and down they go. My other questions were MapQuest. MapQuest, because when they close the road off at the bridge, when it floods.
You're fine. Just keep going. We'll figure that out. You keep going.
Okay. When they close the road off at the bridge, I asked people, why are you coming this way? It says road closed. They'll move the barricades, they move everything else. And the Rochester Fire Department had to go down and rescue people, putting their own lives at risk because people go through the barriers. It's crazy. MapQuest tells you to go that way, down Moon Road, because it's the shortest way to the casino. The traffic, as she said, it's crazy. The traffic is just nuts. Trash, about 4 days ago, me and my wife were out there picking up trash, beer cans, small cards that they use for their slots, I guess. I don't go down there. You can see it's all casino stuff. We do that about once a month, go out and pick up trash, people throwing it out. Cars in my driveway all the time. I'm out of gas. I'm out of gas. I'm out of gas. Can you come start me? Can you take me here? Can you take me there? It's nuts. They're in my driveway at least 6, 7, 8 times a month that we go out. They come all the way up to my barn. I've got a long driveway. My wife feels threatened that you have these people come up there and they're out of the car and they're looking around in the barn for gas cans. Now, this is not right. I've got a relationship with Mike McVeigh, one of the reservation police, because he's come to the house so much. Hey, there's somebody here. They block driveways. If their car doesn't start, they block driveways. We've had people arrested in the driveway. We've had abandoned cars in the driveway. The flood, as I said, the police put themselves at risk. They go right through the barricades. They move the barricades. Racing up and down Moon Road is just crazy. And last but not least, there's no policing out there. So I'm really in favor for the closure. I think the casino is going to make more money if they go down Anderson Road. They've got a gas station there. They got a store there. Let them take care of the people that go to the casino and use Anderson Road, and let them use the gas station, let them use the facilities, let them use everything else down that way. They have no reason to go out and race them down the road. And as she says, kill animals, accidents. We've had multiple accidents on Moon Road, as whatever his name was. So I'm in favor of it.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thanks for your service, too.
Thank you. Eric Johnson, and if there's anybody in room 152, we can take 3 people if you want. If there's 3 people down there that want to come up and testify, make your way up. Go ahead, Eric.
Oh, hello, everybody.
We got to figure this out here first.
Okay.
Could I ask you
Can I have a question for Matt before I start, or you want to make that part of it?
Go ahead.
Matt, how are you today?
That's your
Good, how are you?
Okay.
Hey, when will you have drawings for preliminary, for this potential change? One of my concerns is.
Well, let him ask the question, then he can testify.
Okay.
Let him answer your question,
Okay.
Eric.
So we have a preliminary drawing right now. We could have something worth sharing here in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, if you could share that with the public as soon as possible, that'd be great.
That'd be good because someone else was confused.
You're on my list to come talk to.
Good, good.
So you have 39 seconds. Okay.
I won't probably,
You're not using that now? Okay. Good, Eric, you're on.
all right,
Step right on up so everybody can hear you.
Step
The
right up.
record can hear you if you're closer to the microphone.
okay. Well,
Introduce yourself. and where you
Eric
live.
Johnson, I live at 11645 183rd Avenue Southwest. I'm an organic milk producer. Myself, my wife, and 3 kids, and 3 other families we support, plus neighbors, friends. Closing of the 188th would benefit my immediate operation. It was really nice when the traffic went down from, say, March to June, you know, when we had the big COVID hit and the traffic level really went down. I support what Christy Krieger said and other neighbors about limiting the farming as well. My operation, I farm a lot of ground in the area, and if there's not some kind of plan, Matt, to where agriculture isn't affected too bad, because we need to run 16-foot mowers, manure wagons, feed trailers, you know, if it is closed and I'm denied access down to my properties on Howanut, it will force me to go out onto the highway, so we'll be driving 25 miles an hour, and, you know, definitely impeding traffic. That's one of the effects I want to make sure you're aware of, that this, if you do this and don't allow farmers a way through there. There's a lot of people out on the South Bank, and you know, it affects a lot of farmers if the road is closed. On the other hand, like Dave saying that, you know, we do have way too much traffic for the size road we have. We have a big prostitution problem, you know, but that's, and speeding and just everything that Dave said, but that's part of having a large operation that employs lots of people in our area. So I'm for it affecting me and my farm immediately on Moon Road, but against it if it impedes our moving equipment and forces us out onto the highway. So, and I believe that's all I have to say.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Map it, Matt, thank you. Is there anybody downstairs that would like to come upstairs to testify? Or does anybody else want to testify? Nope, okay.
Yeah, he's going.
Come on up, Bill.
Okay.
Come on, give it all to him, Bill.
And in the meantime, we have a speaker coming up. If somebody downstairs wants to come up, this will be the last call. Thank you. Well, your name, sir, and where you live?
Bill Johnson,
Huh?
12315 183rd, Southwest Rochester. The only concern I have is the corner of Moon Road and 188th. My parents own that 80 acres right on that corner. And so if there is a gate, I'd just like to have access so I could get around for the property. As the property goes clear down to almost where the casino property or parking is. Other than that, I'm not opposed to it. I'd like to see a lot less traffic, a lot less drug deals made in front of the house. It happens a lot. And I have the same problem he has, people pulling up in front of the house and just seems like your place and my place are the one place. People just stop there for no reason. You know, I go out there and what are you doing? Boom, and then they take off, you know, so, but then they're shady looking. I just kind of watch them. So anyway, I'm for it. So.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am? Would you like to testify?
Yes.
Come on up, state your name, where you live, and I'll write it down if I can spell it.
I am Rochelle Ferguson.
Okay, thank you.
I'm a Chehalis tribal member. I don't live on Moon Road, but I access that road a lot.
But you live in Rochester?
I do.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I grew up on the reservation, so.
Okay.
I work out there. I've worked out there for about 25 years. I go that way quite a bit, and I hear the concerns of everybody. As a matter of fact, I've lost 2 friends off of Moon Road. So I know the concerns. And, but I do also hear the concerns of this gentleman right here. When I first heard about the public hearing, I was like, oh, what? I want to know more information, so I decided to come up here. But I am concerned with those farmers because farmers have already a hard time trying to continue their business with how big the economy is growing. And they do move their tractors to and from. We're the only access road there, to and from Oakville to Rochester. And that was my biggest concern because I've driven Moon Road and had to go and pull off the road because to let the tractors go by. And I'm concerned that if it starts to go on Highway 12, that's going to constrict the traffic even more. And I wish there was like a alternative way, but there isn't because the road on the other side connected to Moon Road is probably even harder to get to because when you go from Oakville, you have to still get on Highway 12 to get to that road. And even that road is there's been accidents and fatalities on that road getting there. So I just wanted to voice my concern. I'm not against it and I'm not for it. I mean, it is a big issue with fatalities on Moon Road and 12. And I wish there was an alternative. Like I've heard multiple people say lights or, I was for that roundabout, but I did not. And I've heard this comment before about the traffic just going to Forstrom, which is even more dangerous because there have been fatalities there too. Restricting it to go in. I like the ideas of roundabouts just because it slows the traffic quite a bit, and I've seen it help traffic on Highway 12 in Anderson. So I just wanted to say, I mean, I didn't like that you couldn't access that road, but if there was a way like farmers would be able to access that closure that you guys are specifically talking about, I had asked questions whether there was like swiping cards that certain people could have to open that gate, just like the emergencies would get. So
Okay.
that's all the concern that I had, so.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully
You
the
came
solution will
from
get-
room 152? You came from downstairs?
Yeah,
Was there anybody else down there?
just the 2 that went down there from here, they already testified.
Okay.
And then 1 other person.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for coming up.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming into town. Do you have any questions of Matt or Becky?
I can't think of any.
Okay, questions or?
Well,
Comments?
I brought this up at one of our work sessions, and this is exactly the issue that I was concerned about, was how could we figure a way to get that farm equipment to where it needs to go through the locked gate, if you will, without causing continuous traffic. So maybe certain individuals that would have access to sign out a key or a card, as this young lady mentioned. I don't know the answer. I would just like to see more thought put into that process, because I'm not sure we're going to solve a traffic problem by closing it, but I'm not sure in the end it becomes a real solution, because if heavy, big equipment has to go out onto the road, and farmers work all hours of the day and night, and people drink all hours of the day and night, it seems like, and those 2 things don't go together very well. So I would like to see a solution before we take a final action. That's kind of where I'm at.
Okay, I have a couple questions, Matt, for you, either you or Becky. The 10 years in duration, How did we arrive at that number?
That was per advice from our legal team.
Legal, because it had to have a specific date, certain?
You have to have a definite time period because we're not vacating the right of way. If we were vacating the right of way, then we could just close it indefinitely.
Okay. And I had written down here about a resident that wanted access to cross the highway. So we kind of talked about that and addressed that. And it's going to be looked at perhaps additionally. It was interesting to hear the residents, the problems that you're having down there with people in trouble and the troubled people. Some ne'er-do-wells probably taking up on your property there. There's going to be signage. Hammerhead put up a turnaround Knox box for emergency services for access. You said there's going to be electric message board. How long will that be up? Is that going to be like for 10 years, or is that just up for a while till people get used to it?
No, it's just going to be temporary. So probably a couple of weeks in advance of the closure, we'll be putting the reader boards that you often see in our construction zones. You'll be seeing those on the shoulders of US 12, alerting drivers that 188th Avenue is going to be closed beginning such and such date. Use Anderson Road to access the casino.
Okay. Yes, sir? It's highly unlikely. I don't want to start getting into a round robin where everybody wants to come back and answer, but I'll give you one shot. Come on up.
I didn't know if he could hear me, but.
No, come up to the microphone.
Thinking about the road closed, hopefully, I don't know if he's talked to the casino, they could put a sign up there on the corner of Moon Road and Highway 12 that's saying access to the casino, Anderson Road, because there's still going to be a lot of people go down there, especially with the flooding, the bridge closed and stuff like that. So maybe it would be up to the casino to put some signage saying access to the casino down further.
So put that, if you haven't already addressed that, we'll take that offline and you can work with that.
I love it when the public makes you look good because we've actually already reached out to the casino and it's a joint effort right now to alert drivers of the upcoming closure.
It is a joint effort?
Correct.
Okay. So at this point, there's no further testimony. And is there a motion to close the public hearing?
I got one more question.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
For Matt. So, Matt, what kind of access to the closure is planned or is standard? When you say emergency vehicles, was that mean a key or a swipe card or what?
It's a key that's actually kept at it's a physical box that's actually installed at the gate that will have a key in it for emergency services. And I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to expand on what we were thinking about doing for the closure. Is right now we're planning on installing an actual gate at the Moon Road side of the closure, so it would have a knock box. On the other side, near the employee parking lot, we were actually going to do, it's hard to explain, but we're going to stagger barricades. So basically, the eastbound direction would have a barricade across it that farm equipment could drive around, but you would also have a barricade in the westbound direction, 40 or 50 feet. And that was to allow farm access. Unfortunately, you can't do that at both sides because we all know traffic won't respect the closure and they'll go around the barricades on both sides. Did I confuse you?
Hey, Matt,
I think I've tracked that.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Say, the board is going to be considering this next Tuesday morning, and I think your description, makes sense, but I think it will be helpful to have a drawing depicting what you're describing in terms of providing access to farming equipment in that area. I think that will be a good piece of information for the commissioners to see that next Tuesday morning.
And in the meantime, I think it'd be a good opportunity to give me to, I'm hoping that there's phone numbers on the sign-in sheets.
Is there what?
Is
Phone
there
numbers on
No,
the
there's no phone numbers, just one, just Eric's,
Okay.
but no other phone numbers. I can leave this and maybe people will add their phone number to it if you wish.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I'll get you, hang on, let me see the other. Oh, yeah, it is, yeah. Thank you. Oh, yeah, they're all phone numbered. In the address, I got it. I got it. Thank you. Any more questions of the board, Matt? Becky? So
Thank you.
I have another question for Matt.
we're going to discuss this again Tuesday morning?
Good morning.
Okay. Not for a decision Tuesday afternoon, or for that decision Tuesday?
Well, at that point, you will determine, based on the information that Matt is going to be providing, whether you'd like to continue on to have those items on the afternoon, or you'd like to delay.
Push it.
Really, is
Okay.
that opportunity for you to take that action.
Thank you. Go ahead, Thurston.
I guess I'm curious, Matt, if you think you've got a solution to this problem that revolves around farm equipment, because that's kind of the main bugaboo, it sounds like. Sounds like everybody is in agreement of we're better off closing that for a multitude of different reasons. But do we want to have that farm equipment going down Highway 12? Have you got a solution to this closure allowing farm equipment to go through at the same time stopping the described participants that have been, pulling up in everybody's driveway and such?
Unfortunately, Commissioner, we don't. And so we're only looking at it to providing access from one side, because unfortunately, if you let cars drive around the barriers on both sides, it's not going to, you're not going to get a lot of people respecting the closure. I do completely understand the inconvenience to the farmers in the local area regarding the closure and the inconvenience that using that small chunk of US 12 would create. But I also recognize the safety benefits to the greater Thurston County community in removing a lot of those left-hand turns coming from US 12 onto Moon Road, because as many people have mentioned today, unfortunately, there has been numerous fatalities at that intersection, and most of them are left-hand turn drivers from US 12 onto Moon Road. This way we can send all those left-hand turn drivers up to use the roundabout in Anderson Road to access the casino.
Is there any reason that certain individuals couldn't get a key if they had a legitimate use to go through there? We're going to allow, sounds like ambulances are going to get to go through there. How come a farmer couldn't have an access?
At this point, Public Works is recommending that only emergency services have access to the gates, but we'll take that into consideration and evaluate that alternative more.
Well, may I interject?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, we talked about that before. My concern with anybody outside of law enforcement and for safety personnel, emergency services having a key, is the liability it puts on the individual outside of those organizations, on them. Should the gate not be shut tight? Should it be left open by mistake? The liability to that individual that has the key, but also then to the county, who allowed somebody outside of emergency services to have access to the gate. I really don't like that idea at all. So if there's another way around that, because I don't want to have farm implements on the highway. That's dangerous. I can't tell you right now, though, sir. So, any other questions?
Well, I'd like to see a solution, because I think farm equipment on Highway 12, we're just moving the problem to another location. I can see a problem developing, somebody coming down the road at night, because unfortunately in the wintertime it's dark, early and late in the morning and early in the evening. So I don't think we're solving a problem. We're probably solving some problem, like Matt explained, to get to the greater good, if you will. But when you pull out there with some farm equipment and now somebody gets killed on the highway, now whose problem is it? Did we incur liability by forcing that farm equipment out there at the wrong time? It's always a deep pockets rule when you get into litigation. So I'm not so sure that we're solving the problem we think we are.
Well, we are, but not without creating another one.
Well, yeah, we're just creating another problem. So
motion?
I'm going to be here when this is over.
I'll move to close the public hearing.
Second.
The moved and seconded to close the public hearing. The public hearing is adjourned, closed. Thank you. Now we can talk.